welcome to another week of the Abuse Cartoons live stream. So, here a little later because my schedule's opened up a little bit, so hopefully hopefully it works. I don't know if I'm now totally missing North America. Trying to find that sweet spot. It seems like I was too early the last 2 weeks, and now maybe it's later. But hey, Lil Will. Hey, Unknown Girl. Good to see you. Good to see you guys. But we'll see how this goes. Alright, so let me just double check. Yeah, things are running a little slow. So we'll see if I can actually make this work without too much lag. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I filled up my scratch disk a little too far, I think, and had to delete some stuff or do some file management. There we go. So I hope everyone is doing well. It's doing that strange thing it does here in March where we get a little bit of warm weather and it feels like it's going to be spring, and then it gets freezing cold again. So it's supposed the customer, the kind of what is it, the tradition is that there's 3 days of spring, 3 days of winter, 3 days of spring, 3 days of winter, all through March until kind of the end of March. And then by April, we just have wind and sometimes some really rainy days. So we'll see. I hope it's a good season, though. And the warmer it gets early, the earlier the cherry blossoms open. Because that's their signal. Things are starting just barely beginning to look like that. It's going to take a few more days. But yeah, that's really surreal. If there's a good place, I'll try to get some video this year. If there's a good place of everything blooming. I mean, it's easy to find on the internet, but it's very, very surreal when it's all in full bloom. But that won't be for a few weeks. That'll be last week of March, first week of April. All right. Hey, Robbie, how's it going? Nice. Sorry about that. Yeah. Yeah, Unknown Girl. I have been switching. Well, I had to kind of leave early. I had to be done by about 3:30 here because of my daughter's schedule for the end of her school year. And now it's open for a little bit, and the new schedule will begin. So we'll see. And she's got a long train ride now. Well, I guess it's about the same amount of time, but she'll be going a lot further. She'll be taking like a rapid express train into the city, but probably about the same amount of time on the train. It's just a crowded commuter train. So hopefully that goes well. That's going to be a little adjusting, I think. All right. Ah, keep making the same weird mistake drawing these milk cartons. Hey Matt, how's it going? Nice. Oh, nice. Oh, very cool. Yeah, there's a couple. March is such a weird month because different schools end their school year at different times. University students, I think, are the earliest, and then like the private schools, then the public schools, and then so it's just kind of this cascading effect of everybody being on holiday by the end of March. So everything gets crowded because the weather gets better, and yeah, everybody comes out. That's the odd thing is there's so many national holidays, and people only take holidays, if they're forced to. So everybody does activities at the same time. And so in this, social distancing world, it's a little strange. It's a little difficult. They may actually have to rethink that and not make things so crowded by, doing that public holiday thing. I don't know how they could possibly change that, though. But, yeah, everybody takes their holidays at the same time, and, they try to book things in the same place. And, yeah, the seaside, like, it's common in the summer to go to the seaside, go to the beach, and when you see photos, it's just like crowds of people basically standing in the ocean because there's no room. It's just this big crowded, big crowd of people standing in the water trying to cool down in the hot summer. And the Japanese expression for that is washing potatoes. So it looks like someone's washing potatoes because there's so many people piled into the ocean, but you can't swim or really do anything because there's so many people. All right. Yeah, so luckily I'm not on that schedule. That would be really rough to do that. So it's a good thing about self-employment. All right. Oh, nice. Yeah, the spring breaks are coming up, which I guess are fall breaks, yeah. in Australia. Yeah, it's hard to get my head around that still. I would definitely have to live there and look at the calendar and look at the weather for it to sink in. But yeah, so a lot of adjustments coming up. All right. But that looks more like a flower pot than a styrofoam cup. Do they even make these styrofoam cups anymore? I don't know if I've seen them. Maybe not, because just like the styrofoam clamshells at McDonald's and stuff, they kind of went away for not being very environmentally friendly. That's a little better. Oh, wow. Oh, destructive. I didn't know cockatoos are destructive. Crazy. Hey, Hazmat, how's it going? Good to catch you. Oh, no way. Oh, that's great. Well, let me know. Yeah, let me know if it's high. It should be high resolution enough. Oh, I can't wait. Yeah, send me a photo of how that looks. That's very cool. Yeah, I'm glad they started doing that. I noticed at some Comic-Cons, artists that, especially when they do kind of more digital painting type style, they were printing things on canvas, and they looked really nice. And there's even services I saw that they'll print it on canvas, and then they'll go over it with a clear gesso, like probably just like an acrylic matte medium, and put like brush strokes onto it. So especially if you want like a copy of a famous piece of art or whatever, it looks a little bit more like a painting, because if you put your nose up to it, it's got the brush stroke lines over the printing. But yeah, and that's gotten a lot more reasonable. A lot of the print on demand places print on canvas. Well, that's really cool, Matt. Thanks for doing that. Oh, and let me know if you need anything changed as far as the text or anything, because I didn't know what would be appropriate if you want a date or something. All right. Yeah, I think the little styrofoam cups died. That's funny. So that I'm dating myself even more with this cartoon because pretty soon there won't be. I mean, the Go Comics people are going to be fine. They're of my generation, I think, if not older. But the yeah, anybody younger is gonna be like, what is that supposed to be? A tiny white flower pot? Yeah. Oh, good, good. Nice. All right. So let's see. Oh, I was thinking, yeah, like a travel. One of those travel mugs with the tops. I think that'll read something like that. All right. I don't know, more coffee jokes, maybe traveling, commuting jokes. Oh yeah, and then I can do a one of those weird little lids they used to give you for. Actually, they're very thin, aren't they? They don't even exist anymore, so I can just make them up. Make them up however. Oh, that's so disturbing. Yeah, I guess all of that. There probably has been a bigger shift, like more recently, moving away from different types of materials than ever before. And I don't know why. I don't know why there's suddenly. I mean, there must be some political or economic advantage for somebody to do that. But like Japan a few years ago gave up. They don't give you plastic bags anymore. You have to pay for everything. So people are bringing, the nylon, what they call eco bags here for groceries and everything. I think that's been going on in, kind of forward-thinking cities, for a while. I'm sure a lot of grocery stores will give you some kind of benefit for that, but they charge you if you want a plastic bag here now, and the plastic bags they give you are garbage. They're really, I mean, they must be a different type of like biodegradable plastic or something because they feel really disgusting. They have a really weird kind of powdery texture to them, and they don't hold anything. Like if you overfill them, they break very easily. So then you've got people bringing in their, nylon shopping bags that who knows when the last time, they were ever cleaned or anything. So that's pretty brutal because they're just setting those everywhere now. So it's got to be a lot harder. And they're doing a lot of cashless stuff here now as well, or not cashless, cashierless, where you check out, but you feed money into a slot. Like you don't hand cashier the money, you feed it into a slot. So the front of the cash register has a touch screen on it, and has all these like all the sensors for the chips and place to put your credit card, and then place to stick cash like dollar bills or yen bills into the machine. So you're doing half of the work yourself, which must mean they're not interacting with money anymore. So it must mean they don't nobody pockets anything. I think convenience workers are all on camera, constantly, so they couldn't be. They'd have to be really good to pocket anything. But that must be zero now. The loss from the cash register. Yeah, I think I only ever worked a cash register. They were short when I was working at the movie theater. They were short one night, and it was like something crazy, like a Batman movie or something crazy. Yeah, some kind of traveling cup thing. I don't know. And they were short-handed, and so they needed the beginning, the kind of the rush, the initial rush. They asked me to come down, and I'd never run a cash register before, and especially with like a very impatient crowd, that was really miserable. But I heard so many stories of people like working their little schemes, and especially for movie theaters seem to get ripped off really badly because you're in the old days we're just tearing tickets where it's not really computerized or anything, and you're just tearing tickets, and you know double charge people or half charge people and keep half the money. So constantly minimum wage workers are just like pocketing half of the what should be going into the cash register. But yeah, that was miserable. And I think I was off, like I was like some sense off when the drawer was counted. So not terrible, but I definitely miscounted some change. Ah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, right. It is a lot easier for people to steal. I was thinking about that too, because it then takes away the if you're putting, you're bagging your own groceries in your own bag, they shouldn't have those especially at the convenience store, those impulse items. They have like the little things that people like, breath mints or whatever near the cash register. They have to get rid of those because people can just, pack those into their bag as they're going. So I imagine that because there is nobody checking, double checking what you bought and how much you paid for. But I guess as soon as you're caught, you're pretty much in the system. Everything's so computerized now. You're in the system is not allowed in the stores. And they do a funny thing here too, where they like to humiliate people that are kind of not professional probably, but kind of serial shoplifters or whatever. They'll literally put your picture, like they'll do security cam grabs. And I've seen it. So some apartment buildings have like a garbage like area, like a little cage room or something outside, where all the trash is supposed to be put, and it has a lock on it usually. More recently it does, but back in the old days, they would just leave it unlocked, and so some of the older buildings don't have any locking mechanisms, and so people dump, or they pick through the trash, or they dump things. And I guess, yeah, taking anything is not going to be a problem. It's still on private property, though. I don't know how that works, but there's I would see photos of old men like from security camera grabs, like posted on those things, like this is a guy that like throws his trash in our trash. And yeah, and they'll do that at stores, maybe not the chain convenience stores, but the smaller, more independent shops. You'll see pictures of people just to embarrass them, because it's an embarrassment culture if you can make somebody embarrassed. That's the thing too, how powerful you are in Japanese culture if you are shameless. And people don't, you were kind of pushed out and kind of not accepted very easily, but you are very powerful if you don't care, like, about acting like an idiot and embarrassing yourself, and just people's reaction to you. So that makes, foreigners have a little bit of power if they don't care. If they don't care what Japanese people think of them. So that's like a level of civility or level of kind of society that's removed. And you see that, all the, cell phone camera videos and stuff in America. Americans are a pretty shameless bunch. And so if they bring that here, it's pretty powerful. Although, you're not going to last long here, but you can get your way very easily. Everything just kind of bends to your will for a time, and then you're just like not not wanted anymore. All right. Oh yeah, I should do something a little different with this. So it's an odd thing. I've heard people call it the gaijin push. So, something, because it's much more rare here that there's a weird human error that they won't correct. I mean, everyone does a pretty decent job, does their job pretty well. So there's not a lot of mistakes that needed to be corrected, not a lot of sloppy, like, data entry and stuff. So I remember in the US just being on the phone constantly with the bank and the cable company and everything, just, them always adding little nonsense to my accounts, and always having to sort out what was going on. That was way too common, and probably a weird, like, money-making thing if it never got legislated, if nobody ever paid attention to that. But that doesn't exist here. But you can, yeah, if those situations come up, like if you want a table by the window or whatever, yeah, as a foreigner, you can just kind of bluster your way into it, and that goes, it works pretty well, pretty guaranteed. Although I would imagine maybe in Tokyo or one of the cities that's used to dealing with foreigners, they have their way. They've come up with ways to just kind of mitigate that a little bit. But yeah, but that's been coming up a lot, or was, thank God, years ago, about 3 years ago. That was coming up a lot with the Chinese tourists. They are, they rival Americans in their shamelessness, and so when they screw up a reservation, there was scenes that like made it onto the news where like there would be a son and his mother is laying on the sidewalk wailing and screaming, and the son is saying, "This hotel doesn't have a, they made a mistake and don't have a reservation, so they threw us out on the street. Look at us, we have nowhere to go." And so they're talking in English. They're talking to the news about the poor treatment they're getting in Japan. And who knows what the real story is. But and also there was I might have talked about this years ago. There was another story, a nicer restaurant. And a lot of the nicer restaurants in Japan are Chinese cuisine for some reason, and there's some Chinese customers, and they were like eating like short ribs or something. They're eating something with bones, and they were throwing the bones on the floor of the restaurant, of the nice restaurant, and everyone around them was getting really uncomfortable, and the staff was trying to figure out, and I think they're talking very loudly too. The staff was trying to figure out how they were going to deal with this. So they just said, "You have to leave now. You have to leave now." And they're like, "No, we're not done with our meal. No." And you don't have to pay, just leave. Don't have to pay, just leave. And again, for the somebody's smartphone or whatever, they made a big scene about being thrown out because they were Chinese, and not that they ever did anything wrong. But they got a free meal. And so, if you know that deal, if you know that'll work, you could get a couple of nice dinners. I'm not endorsing this. I'm not encouraging people to do that. But yeah, just like any other grifter, you could work that to your advantage for a while, and just be so miserable that everyone wants you out, so they don't make you pay for anything. They just want you out. above paying for something, they just want the restaurant back to a more normal state, and the rest of the customers to be happy. I'm pouring coffee. I guess you can see that. I always wonder how that sounds on the camera. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That was a weird thing in ooh, the coffee is scalded. That's weird when not milk, but soy milk gets scalded. It like does something very strange. It like reverts back to its bean state or whatever. It gets really lumpy. But yeah, that was a big thing in LA too. Everyone's so sensitive, and they have those because the trucks have the little arm that picks up and dumps the cans. They have the standardized. The city gives you the cans, but people, were very because you put all your cans on the same, either at the curb or the back alley. That was much more common. Is the garbage truck driving down a back alley, so between the backyards of all the houses. Maybe that's a very San Fernando Valley thing, and tips them. Yeah, so that nobody has to get out of the truck, which is nice because then they can sit in the air conditioning. But yeah, some people, people can, if their can gets full, they can just, walk next door and stuff some extra trash into the neighbors' cans. I don't know, but yeah, that's the thing that I've said that already though. But that's the big reason that Japan says, yeah, foreigners will not be happy here. You shouldn't come to live in Japan. Mostly because you won't understand the trash rules. We have very specific rules about how to throw things away in Japan, and most foreigners can't understand this. So it's just better that you don't live here. That's my favorite excuse for why, or the other cultures aren't compatible with Japan, is because you don't know the intricacies of trash day. Oh no, I just gave Hazmat the wrong idea. Yeah, it's really crazy. And I think it's just that's the one thing. So people, most people won't confront you, but you will be stared at. Like everyone will just start staring at you if you're making a scene. But no one, like other countries, you'll get kind of confronted, and someone will say, shut your mouth or get out of here or whatever. You'll have a little bit of confrontation, although probably more so, less so now. What's going on here? I'm stuck in memory mode. All right. Well, Photoshop will catch up here in a second. But yeah, it's very funny. Yeah, but and that's the one thing though with Japan being so open to tourism is they're going to have to start. I guess they don't have to. No, they don't have to. Like in in my opinion, they should start, but they won't. Becoming less tolerant to that, and having ways to kind of discipline or punish people for doing bad things, but they won't, and because it's tourism, they just want the money, and they know you're going to go. So that's the weirdest part about it is they're going to be tolerant because they know that you will be leaving. Yeah, that's very very strange, but that is a very a very Japanese attitude. Is just endure. Right. Oh yeah. Oh, I had a really weird thing happen um, on my on the family Disney Plus account. Yes, I'm still I still have one of those because they have all the Fox movies. That's why. Uh, but someone created a profile. I haven't shared because it's Japan, so none of my family in the U.S., unless they're going to use a VPN, can use uh, the Japanese Disney, which is actually much better because they put everything on there instead of trying to make it kid friendly. What is going on here? Come on. Yeah, Photoshop might be jammed up. But this was really creepy. I think I use a very simple password that's probably floating out there on password sites because Google keeps warning me stop using this password. But for stuff that I don't really care about or that could easily cancel, um, I just use something simple, and it's not password 123 or anything, but it's pretty simple, and so it must be out there. But the weird thing is, so somebody logged into the account. There we go. uh, Somebody logged into the account. They created a profile with my younger brother's name, and pin protected it, like you can do for some reason for Disney. I guess because of the parental control thing. If you have a 18 plus account, you can pin protect it so that the kids, when they log in on the TV or whatever, they can't get into that. So they put a pin on it, and at first I started watching stuff on the main profile, and then they got the idea to make a profile, but they used my brother's name, my brother's first name, and chose an avatar that he would choose, which is really creepy. Then pin protected it, and then kept watching things. And so I logged into that profile and was like looking at stuff, and the stuff that they were watching was stuff he would watch, which is even creepier. But I suspect though it was probably just a Japanese kid, probably a little Japanese, chronically online kid that got my password from some site. Because I think one of my email addresses and this password is connected, so it's something that probably made it into a library file or something you can try. But it was so disturbing that he used my brother's name, and it probably would have worked too if I would have thought that that was my brother. Um, I wouldn't have. Oh, he figured out a way to get into my account. I just would have left it, and he would have had Disney forever. So he must have found my email password combination on a website, tried it on everything he could try it on. Disney worked, and then Googled my name because my full name is in the profile. Googled my name, found my brother's name, and then added a profile. That is a lot of work. I should have rewarded him somehow for all of that work. But it was just really eerie. Yeah, very, very eerie for that to just suddenly pop up. And if I, was sharing everything, if I could, without the geo blocking stuff, if I could share everything, I would have all like my family members on those accounts. We'd all be sharing passwords. But it was very obvious it was somebody in Japan. Yeah, I asked. I haven't heard yet, but no, it wasn't him. But it was so funny how well it imitated him, like how close to like his taste in what he would have watched and his taste of Avatar. So immediately I thought, oh, I guess he got in, or because I was thinking, did I give him that password, or I was trying to figure out what happened. So it was a good job, whoever did that. So I credit the Japanese kid that did that because it was well done. Although it didn't. It has to be somebody in Japan, but it didn't have to be Japanese because they have subtitles for everything. So it could have been some Chinese student or something in Japan as well. But that was really funny. Like, and I got notifications too in my email that your brother has created your brother's name has created an account, or created a profile. Like, oh, okay, interesting. But it also could be that maybe Disney is having trouble. There aren't. Blocking, they're because it's shared, because I log into the same website and it just reroutes me to the Japanese version. It's the same URL. So I don't know. That would be funny though if they were, because I deleted the profile and changed the password. So I haven't heard from my brother. So obviously he's not being stopped from watching anything. But it was hysterical. The things that he watched are and it seems like it's a young guy. It seems like it's it's somebody. Well, I guess we're not young anymore, but it was a guy, definitely. That was really odd. But yeah, I guess I got to listen to Google's advice and stop using my easy password. Oh, yeah, but that kind of stuff is really funny. And when it's so harmless like that, it's just like it really don't need to. It's not costing me any money. It's not, because I think you can log on to multiple devices, multiple accounts. So it wouldn't be the end of the world if I was sharing it with somebody that was clever enough to get into it. But they could lock me out. They could change the password and lock me out, although then they would have to pay for it. Yeah. So, that looks terrible. So for a moment there, I was contemplating congratulating whoever that was. Yeah, the only the payment stuff, it was just mine. Yeah, I took a look at that. The only thing, it's like the last four of the credit card that you're using, last four digits, but nothing else. So just for you to know which card is registered. And anytime you need to do something major, the system sends a code. You have to put in the password, and then the system sends a code to your email that's registered. But I guess they could just change the email, but I don't know. But you need a PIN to then confirm. So I don't know how it would work. And the other thing that's very strange is in Japan, it's also linked to a Docomo, which is the one of the biggest cell phone carrier here. It's linked to their point system, so I had to make a Docomo account and a Disney account and link those. So, but I don't have a Docomo phone. Yeah, so it's very strange. So that might be too how they got the list of possible people they could have. But that's the thing too is Japan's cybersecurity is really bad. They're they get online problems all the time. I think they were the first ones to have crypto wallets, like companies that were functioning as crypto wallets, just constantly broken into. So they've got a problem. I don't know what that is. I don't know why exactly, but maybe they just get bullied by Russia and China, but they get broken into a lot. All right. But good job. That was a well done, because I would have, if I would have been just a little bit busier, I would not have even thought twice. I would have just been like, oh yeah, I guess that's my brother. And maybe in a lot of situations that would work pretty well, because if we could share, there would be multiple profiles on that account. So funny. Maybe it's just someone trying to make me call my brother. Oh, right. Wrong layer. Where is this? It's here. Oops. There we go. Yeah. So that's the first like weird thing that's happened to me in quite a while. And usually when bad stuff happens, it goes really bad, really fast. That was the best possible account, because a lot of people are getting their Facebook or social media accounts hacked, and then instantly like all these like online gambling, all this online gambling spam or something goes out. Yeah, but I reset everything. And the nice thing too is when you reset the password, they give you the option to log every device out, which is going to be a pain in the ass, because then everything that I'm logged in with, the TV and everything, we're going to have to, with the remote control, log back in. But yeah, that's funny. And I wonder if it's going to get to the point where people are just going to tolerate, okay, well, there's somebody in my bank account. Okay, they're not taking a lot of money. And it's such a pain in the ass to deal with the bank and try to get all this stuff changed over. Maybe I'll just let them. I'll just let them go. I mean, but once we like build up enough density in like how our online accounts and everything are functioning, and how miserable it is to get any sort of customer support. I guess theft is a little bit better than other things, but yeah, I can imagine a day where people are too lazy to even care about it. It's like, so as long as you're not taking a lot of money, people are going to tolerate, like a one of those fish that cling to sharks and just feed off of the debris of what sharks eat. We're just going to tolerate like these parasite kind of, or I guess, would they be parasite or would they be, because parasites eventually will overwhelm, but something that has a more balanced relationship, where they're not going to kill you because they're benefiting so much from your existence. Symbiotic? Yeah, maybe symbiotic. Something like that. The symbiote. But I wonder if we're going to get to that point where people, or you just have to. It's just like, there is no secure system, so everybody has to just, give 5% of all of their online, anything that's in a digital form. They just have to give that up to the thieves, and it's not going to be a felony, or it's not going to be a criminal offense if it's under a certain amount. And so it's just going to be this weird thing that we tolerate, just like we tolerate the process of the service charges and the fees and things that banks and the network that transmits our financial transactions and stuff. We tolerate that. That's just a completely feeding off of little bit by little bit. They're taking advantage of it. So that's why there's so many like a lot of independent restaurants, really nice restaurants, won't take credit cards because they don't want to pay that fee. They don't want to give that like 3%, like it's a flat fee plus like 3% or whatever to credit card companies. And I think what's like American Express or something is the worst. They have the highest fees. So a lot of times places just that we won't deal with that at all because of the fees, because their profit margins are so slim that adding that little bite that the credit card companies take just makes it not worth it. So a lot of cash only, and in Japan I've noticed that a lot. You have to be really careful, and hopefully they put it in English, but you have to be really careful about cash only places here, because a lot of people don't want to get involved in having those accounts and paying, having to lose that money. Because it does then, you're going to price things differently on your menu if you know that people are going to take, and that sensitivity probably also comes from the fact that in Japan they know they can't just raise prices, or people will just stop coming, because people are really sensitive to price here because of the kind of deflation or stagnant salaries and everything here. People's incomes have not changed significantly in a couple of decades now. That's funny too. That still means that there's better opportunities in Japan with a totally flatline economy than there are in a lot of Southeast Asia and Korean and Chinese situations. Like, there's still a lot of immigrants coming to Japanese universities to try to get jobs in Japan. And this situation here is still better than what they're facing at home. That's amazing. Amazing. I'm sure, and that was that was Superman 3, wasn't it? Was it Superman 3, Superman 4? The one with Richard Pryor. And Workspace, what was it called? The Mike Judge comedy, Office Space. The Mike Judge comedy. They came up with that idea too, and immediately got busted. Yeah, yeah. But I'm sure, you can skim, because that was the plot. The Superman 3 or 4, Superman 4 plot was take pieces of a scent, but do it millions of times, and you end up with a decent amount of money. Yeah. Oh, so my brother gives all Netflix somehow. He only has. Oh no. Yeah, I hate that. Well, that's part of the reason I use my stupid compromised password, is I don't want to remember a bunch of passwords for every stupid thing. Yeah. What's that? Oh, my father keeps doing that. Yeah, he'll get a new phone, and if he changes the carrier, he'll set up a new email and everything. Immediately forget the email address and the password. I said, we've been sending you email to that address that you gave us. It's like, I don't know what it is. I can't get into my email, or can't get into my voicemail. That happens all the time. Every time he gets a new phone, it's like, I can't get my voicemail. I have no idea. I can't read my email. I can't read my text messages. I have no idea what's going on. I don't remember the password. That's so funny. That's got to really suck for that, like, the generation that became digital in their, what would it have been, 40s? Yeah, like mid 40s. They had to become, think about things in, like, virtual online and, accounts, username, password, account kind of stuff in their 40s. That would really suck to have not, grown up with any of that. Office Space, yeah. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I haven't seen Office Space in a long time. That's a really good movie. Very fun. Yeah, they haven't. There's so few comedies too, especially recently. I think because comedies don't make a lot of money anymore. It's like horror movies are the go-to if you're going to make a low-budget movie that does a lot more that makes a lot more money than it costs. It's going to be a horror movie instead of a comedy. And maybe because the people's tastes in comedies has stratified so much, as like separated into all these like different niches. You can't make a what am I doing here? You can't make a comedy that satisfies a big enough crowd. Because I noticed that even with stand-up, because Netflix has a lot of stand-up on it, but I go to watch watch stand-up on Netflix, and it's like I can't find anything because it's all people. It's like, I know exactly what their stand-up is going to be, just either from their name or their wacky face they're making on the thumbnail. So yeah, it's rough. Oh, I watched that. I guess Dave Chappelle's got a new series of he's like spotlighting like his favorite comedians. So he's doing specials for his maybe people he came up with or people that helped him coming up, like some of the elder statesmen or senpai, to use the Japanese word of his career. And so the first one that they put online was Earthquake, and I forgot. I've seen a few Earthquake specials, and I forgot how good he is. But yeah, so Dave Chappelle kind of does the intro, and then the comedian. So I'm curious to see like who all is going to be in that series. It's funny, he survived his cancellation pretty well. It's crazy. And that's the thing, I guess, it's always going to be that way. If you make enough money for someone, you're gonna be uncancelable. Canceled in meaning that it affects your income. It's not going to affect your income if you're making somebody enough money. And that was, all those people that, were the Weinstein and the people that were like kind of like buried in the system for years, and they all knew they were abusive guys, but they protected them. The whole system protected them. And now Blizzard's getting that whole treatment too. Whoa, okay, what's happening there? Oh no, I filled this on the wrong layer. Did I? Wait, come on. Did I? Yes, I did. Oh shit. Okay, so there must be a hole in this drawing somewhere. Yes. Huh. Weird. So this layer is bad. But yeah, and it's just so, because that means everybody is implicated. Everybody in that industry that had any working with that person is guilty. They're all involved. But as long as they pointed their finger, straight enough or whatever, then okay, well, how could you have known? How could you have known? Yeah. But that's very the horrible truth or horrible reality of things. Oh yeah. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll keep doing it. I've done it for 20 years. Why not keep doing it? Yeah, I was in touch with a friend that was asking me about the cartoons and asked me if I'd had published any books of the cartoons. I said, yeah, I did one. I think it's 2015 when I hit 1,000 cartoons, and did a collection. I'm going to do this one this year for the 20th anniversary. Like, you're still coming up with ideas for that same cartoon. I guess it's like broad enough. I guess it worked well enough because I can kind of shift. It's I don't know, like it's not generic, but it's the idea is light enough that I don't have to be like, okay, I can't do this anymore, because there's always something stupid. There's always some stupid thing that an object will trigger. Some stupid thought, because you're interacting with stuff, so you can always keep kind of putting your daily life back in it. Who was it? There was somebody that was just talking about inspiration. I forget who it was, but the talking about how if you really pay attention, like depending on what your work is or what you're focused on, there are thousands of things in a single day that can be inspiring to you. You just have to kind of be paying attention, or kind of be keyed in to be thinking that way about being inspired. But to say that there's you're not. But I guess though, once you get successful enough and your life is easy, easy enough, and that's what happens too. Is you hear people start talking about their limousines and things in their songs. So obviously they've lost inspiration that anybody can relate to. But I forget who it was. It was a very interesting. It was somebody surprising that said that there is so much inspiration just in your daily interactions with everything in the world that you can't claim your life isn't interesting enough because if you're thoughtful enough or just thinking enough about what you're doing, there's a lot of things. I forget who it was. If it was I'm thinking it was a writer. But yeah, the simple interactions between things are definitely you can definitely kind of scale that up or down, depending on what you're looking for. And I guess that's what this is. This is like a scaled down, like every smallest, and especially in the earlier days when I was actually writing things down, any smallest thing could kind of stick. But a lot of the earlier things were like I still do a little bit of that, is like get stuck on a funny phrase, get stuck on portraying something like an awkward or a funny combination of words, and try to make something from that. A lot of that was inspired by that. But yeah, there's weird direct things. I forget what that was. It was it was really interesting. Oh, there's a channel that I just found that's a bunch of I don't think they say commentary in the YouTube names, but they're the commentaries. They don't show, or they do. They show some of the films, I think, but they're the commentaries from a lot of famous films, a lot of Francis Ford Coppola stuff. And I was just watching something. Shoot, I forget. But it's very random. Like it'll be like an episode of a TV show, like a pilot of a TV show, or like a very famous movie, and then some just like interview things. But it's all kind of movie channels and stuff. It's a movie channel, like a movie entertainment channel, but mostly commentaries and people talking about their work. That was a really good idea. I don't know how long those channels, if they're not monetized, maybe they last a little bit longer, but I think they disappear pretty fast. But I wonder, maybe the commentary, maybe that's why if you do it right, maybe the commentary isn't in the soundtrack, or the audio of a movie would be in the copyright ID system on YouTube, but maybe the commentary isn't. So if you just played the commentary over some kind of flipped version of the movie or whatever, it might work. But I've been enjoying that a lot. That's really fun to just put on as a background thing, like something you've seen a bunch of times. Because also the thing that I listened to most recently was talking about how Coppola was talking about how in The Godfather he came up with the first scene, the opening scene of everyone. So he was just going to start with the wedding, and just the wedding ceremony and the singing and all of the scale of an Italian wedding. And I had someone suggest to him, yeah, that's not that interesting, and there's something better. And I think I forget if it was Apocalypse Now or something. He said the way that this started is what you should do. You should do something like you did here. And so he came up with the idea from the book of everyone asking for favors, on the day of his daughter's wedding. And so that's scene kind of beginning the setting the stage for the kind of the scale and the power of the Godfather, and how he's connected to the community and stuff. And yeah, and said it worked much better than just having a big crazy wedding scene that revealed all of that. But yeah, and there was also something you talked about technically, where there's a camera on a really slow track that's pulling back almost like imperceptibly in those scenes, and it changes like when they're cutting between the scenes. Of course, the camera's at different distances, but I never realized that the camera is actually like really, really, really slowly moving. They had some sort of new technology or new mechanism that they were using to create that effect, where it was either slowly dollying in or slowly dollying out, but you could barely see it because it moved that slowly, but it had a weird effect, you know, had a weird intensity effect on that scene. But I like that stuff. I mean, that's just fun to listen to in the background. Uh, oh wow, that's funny. Yeah, I imagine some TV shows are probably pretty sensitive because they know how amazing their content is, or they feel much more possessive of their content. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I remember for a while there was a lot of TV shows. Maybe that's before their whole automated system really got going. But yeah, you could see a lot of TV shows on YouTube, and maybe that was before also the streaming. You know, that those became valuable, or what the streaming services saw as valuable property after the American Office became so popular. People thought, oh, well, we've got TV shows. Mm, yeah. Ah, interesting. Yeah, like instantly. Yeah, what was that? I've had that happen. You know, they have that kind of pre-flight check now when you're uploading things, which is good because if you inadvertently, especially like if you're cutting up streaming or something, have something that it's going to be caught right away. It's good that they do that while it's uploading, so they can say, yeah, don't even click the button. It's not worth it. Um, but the yeah, it's very funny. Yeah, it may just be slower. It seems like YouTube and Facebook too catch things really quickly. My wife very early on got blocked from uploading videos to Facebook because when my daughter was really tiny, she made some videos because we only use Facebook basically to let family back in the U.S. See their granddaughter, uh, growing up, and just kind of share videos and photos that way. And right away, so she was like, you know, dancing or doing something in front of the television, and enough that the television was visible and the soundtrack was very clear, the song or whatever she was singing to was very clear, and so she got some kind of weird copyright strikes on Facebook about that, and then they just basically disabled her ability to upload videos. She was like, "What the hell? What is going on? What's going on?" Yeah, so we started to use private or hidden YouTube, the unlisted YouTube after that, because Facebook was just, yeah. I forget, it was like, Blues Clues or something. It was something really simple that was surprising. And I guess that's Viacom, right? If it's Nickelodeon, it's Viacom. So that may be why they were extra sensitive about it, or they had probably already made requests to Facebook to stop letting people play their stuff. But that was so fun. That was really early on. It was like, 10 years ago. But Facebook was brutal. And they're just like, okay, yeah, you can't upload any more videos. We're not going to tolerate this. Yeah, but I was surprised how strict that was. You don't see. And that's the thing that sucks about Facebook is your account is much more tied to you, and you've like, connected it into the web of your social whatever. So it ends up being a bigger loss, which is what they were hoping for the whole time. So just starting a new account is much more difficult because you got to reconnect to everybody that was on the previous one. But I don't know. Yeah, I think I made a real mistake today for the convenience store. Convenience store choice. It was funny to me, but I think it's going to be horrible, and it's one of the things that I hate the flavor of very much. So it might be a very unenjoyable one, but I couldn't resist. It was such a weird idea. But you will get to see what adults only caramel corn is like. It's very erotic, I'm sure. Selection of spoons. Oh yeah, yeah. That seems to be like that's the how easy it is to get content onto YouTube. That seems to be such a nice thing that you can do if you put something up that's not going to be taken down right away. You know, you can just use it. You can upload to use it, like very utilitarian. Yeah, I wish there was a way to do watch along, you know, kind of movie stuff that way. Stream a movie that hopefully wouldn't get dinged right away, and just be able to kind of watch it together as a live stream and then just take it down, because you're not going to just, you know, to enjoy the social event of it, not the, you know, ad revenue or whatever. I hope it's going to be good. Yeah, I'll explain why it might be brutal. There's a thing they do with chocolate in this same respect that I always have hated. So we'll see. Yeah, it was either this or another kind of flavored potato chip, like a very, you know, supposed to be expensive looking potato chip. But I went with the adult caramel corn, which is hard to say. All right. Okay, can't be cups every time. Oh, this could be... I don't know. Yogurt or something. Yeah, I like the selection of spoons, but they're all kind of like, they look like baby spoons. They're all kind of chubby. Yeah, that would be... Discord would be really fun, yeah, because you could have a voice channel and a chat room also. Yeah, that would be really fun. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, and there's a couple of companies have started to do that kind of streaming together thing, where they'll either sync a streaming service like Netflix. I think they have only a couple of things they can use, but they'll use like Netflix or something, and they can sync everything. And maybe even Netflix built in that technology now. But you can stream, kind of sync stream with a group of people watching it. Oh, and I saw a very odd ad. It seems like a very temporary workaround. I'm still drawing spoons. A very temporary kind of exploit of the YouTube's ad revenue system or whatever. But a company that said they will do looped live streaming of your videos. So this doesn't seem to make any sense. And it seems to be very short-sighted. But they're claiming you upload your video to them, and then create a channel to live stream it back to, or like give them a connection. I don't think they say you don't have to log into any accounts. So I'm not sure how they're doing that, but they will live stream on a loop your video until you tell them to stop. And they say that the oh boy, let's see here. They say that the sorry, boom, oops, that'll increase visibility and revenue and everything. It's very strange that they're claiming it will. That's weird. I must have accidentally clicked outside. This whole layer is filled with white. Yeah, but they and the even the explanation video was like a weird foreign accent, so I don't know what that's all based on. But they'll just take a video and put it on a permanent loop live stream, and I guess it goes on your channel or a dedicated channel. It has to be a revenue producing channel, And then supposedly it generates more revenue, more subscribers, because it's just constantly playing and people constantly have the ability to interact with that. But I don't know how that's better. They say that it's better than video on demand, better than your library of videos, because YouTube prioritizes live streams. So you're basically pushing a video that would just be sitting in your library for people to find in the algorithm. It pushes it to the top by just streaming it constantly. But then it's going to be, you're not going to be interacting with it live. Like if people are in the chat, they're going to be like, what is this? Why does this keep repeating? I don't know. It doesn't seem like there'd be no interactivity, and it'll just be this thing on a loop to try to attract as much attention as possible. So I don't know. Yeah, people would be very confused. It's like, what? They're just ignoring us, and especially, you'd have to turn off like super chats and stuff because uh, yeah, there wouldn't be any interaction at all, which is the point of live streaming. But I think they're just trying to exploit the fact that they think because YouTube prioritizes live streaming, you just stick videos that you don't have to do anything else with existing videos into a live stream. But I think as far as for subscribers and things, they'd just be like, what's happening? What are you doing? And it's just one of those, joyless attempts to exploit a very temporary condition of the platform. Yeah, it's very odd. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what that's all about. All right. Maybe not spoons. I have to get away from cups as well. Oh. But yeah, that was a weird. So I gave that some thought because these videos, especially this channel, isn't monetized, so it's completely useless. But these videos are so long, but they are, interactive. So I think that would kill the whole channel because people wouldn't trust that when I said I was live, if I'm just like, it's like, reruns on television. It's like, oh, I saw this one already. You don't want to hear me complain about the same thing again, do you? Yeah, it's very odd. But there may be some situations where that would be a good thing. I don't know. But it couldn't, yeah, it wouldn't, I guess it wouldn't, if it was originally a live stream, maybe it's not functional. But it's kind of like what I was thinking about, that YouTube should have, channels that are constantly running. Because there's if they're curated in a way that there's a point to, why things are in a certain order or whatever, there's something about that just like, just for me, makes me stick to watching something where I want to see what's coming up next, or I want to see, I just like drop in and see what state something is in, like radio stations or TV stations or whatever. When it's on demand and that choice, you're like making that choice, it's like one more obstacle to being like, that doesn't sound good. Like it's really hard to motivate you to like, okay, that I'll do that. You get weird and kind of click out of things very easily when you're making making bad video on demand choices. But if you can kind of like surrender your choice to hopefully somebody that's put something together, like a film festival or a collection of stuff, because I'll often click on those they call them radio, but it's just like somebody taking a bunch of podcasts and putting them together in order. So basically a playlist. They're just doing a playlist of a podcast, and even if it's episodes I've heard, if I just drop in the middle of it, I'll just like listen to it. That's definitely a generational thing. I bet there's nobody under 30 that can tolerate that. It isn't. Just subscribers. Yeah, my hours I think are enough. My watch hours are enough, but not enough subscribers. I'm still like at 5 something, and I need 1,000. Yeah, but we'll get there. It keeps bumping up. Every so often I'll get a little jump. Yeah, I just don't. I don't think there's huge mass appeal. Or if people like find me on Twitch, they never make it over to YouTube. That kind of thing. So it's tricky, and people are just happy to when it comes up on Facebook or whatever, they're just happy to check in whenever, but they don't need to subscribe. But you guys are so generous with the Streamlabs tips that it's great. It's very much worth doing this. Having the interaction of the chat and how generous you guys are is perfectly fine. And then I don't have to worry because I've had I guess it hasn't happened too many times on YouTube, but Facebook, like that one time I put up the mochi the mochi pounding video. Facebook grabbed that as something that was protected by some tourism channel on YouTube. But yeah, I don't know. Oh, thanks. Well, thanks, Unknown Girl. I appreciate that. A bunch of yum is going to be... Okay, I only need about 450 some. That if you could... over the weekend, if you could take care of that. Just keep adding M's to your name. Yeah. Yeah. That was so frustrating too, especially with the tabletop, the other YouTube channel. So many people when I was talking to, I'm trying to get monetized, and they keep kind of moving the goalposts. It's when I caught YouTube right at that time where they kept changing the conditions because they're trying to block new channels out. They're trying to slow down the new channels entering the or being partnered or whatever they're calling it, monetized. They're slowing down the monetization, so they made the requirements higher, the watch hours and the subscribers. And we kept hitting those marks, and they kept saying, no, it's different now. It's different now. And I was just talking to somebody, and they're like, oh, just get a bunch of bots and just do it. Just get some bots and do it. Like, okay, fine. Yeah, and I've had that. I've had that weird reaction, especially with like the text. Like when I was having more of a business in LA, and we had our own servers, and I'd be talking to the text. Like we'd have some problem, some like DoD thing or something was happening. I would just ask him, is there anything we can do? Well, yeah, I could unleash a lot of bots from my bot farm, and like this, that's completely useless. And it's like, okay, so will you do that? Well, no, I can't actually do that. All these silly, I don't know, masters of the universe style, like, well, all you have to do is, it's like, yeah, I'm going to, knowing nothing about it, I'm going to unleash bots on my channel to try to get subscribers. Just write a bot that will subscribe to your channel. Yeah. And those people that always have those easy answers never do anything. But they could. They could if they wanted to. There we go. But it's so simple. All right, now I'm just drawing cups. Hacker noises. Nice. There's all kinds of like pink neon and crazy cyberpunk theming going on now in where Yum is. Yeah, definitely. Because it's very cat and mouse, so all of those like easy solutions, easy answers, like they've already thought of that. Like if you could think of it, it's already been dealt with. If it just occurred to you, well, yeah, why don't you just do this? It's like, yeah, that's already not an option anymore if you are coming up with it. Yeah, it's so funny. All right, I'm really stuck here. Something weird, or like a big, had some bowls or something. It's all like a weird spoon across the top of a... Oh, wait. This could be... Not really. That's right. Soup is in those like kind of cylindrical, or those tapered containers if you get delivery soup. Huh. Yeah, a weird scale thing would be fun. Yeah, but it's very... it's very funny. And yeah, I'm most surprised how like joylessly that was. Somebody made a point about that, like how how you decide to like run a channel or do a like content creation thing. Like you very easily can, and people do very very often trap themselves because they can see what generates revenue and what gets views, and they end up like taking something that they had some passion for or enjoyed, and it kind of gets whittled down or kind of narrowed into this like angry criticism of Star Wars films, or weird little ways that people trap themselves, and they get a response, and then they just keep pursuing the thing that gets the most traction and gets the most attention, and a lot of times it's very negative stuff. So then you're just forced to doing daily rants about Disney movies. It's like what a horrible thing to be trapped in, and then very quickly they get burnt out because you can't maintain with zero passion and just the desire to see some numbers. You can't maintain that, so you really have to be a joyless robot to just chase the algorithm and do whatever it takes to to produce successful content. You just make any changes, whatever. So it's no self-expression. It's nothing that you will be happy with or not embarrassed, to show other people. But that's not how it works. Like that's not the most successful thing to do. And so like when people are giving advice about how to do, how to make money, or basically go full time with content creation stuff, the answer is just be joyless and chase the numbers. And there's so many tools that basically anybody that has any success, you can just copy paste what they did and try to kind of in the wake of what they were able to do. You can duplicate that and siphon off of it, and it's going to be ugly. People are going to be seeing, I think, what you're doing if they look at your the thumbnails and the description text and like the length of your videos and stuff. If you're just following what's delicious for the algorithm, then yeah, it's going to be very soulless, and then you get just trapped in there. Unless you can automate it, you get trapped into doing that for an insane amount of time, or unless you like can hit that timing perfectly where you hit monetary success and just hire people to do everything. So all your editing, all the drudgery, the editing and things can be just handled by someone else, and you just like drop in front of a camera and microphone. Oh, that would be great. Yeah. If those work as standalone things, that would be great, because then I could re-upload those. I think the bad thing about this channel is nothing goes into the algorithm as far as I think the Hyphonics mailing, that sped up video I did of mailing that box of snacks to Hyphonics is the only uploaded video on this channel. So I think that hurts me as far as discovery. So that might be a good idea. Yeah. Oh no, that's not a bad idea at all. Because post them as shorts and see if those can get some attention. Yeah, because those would be fun. You'll make a fun thumbnail with whatever snack it is, and see if we can hit the Japan algorithm, the foreigners in Japan. Yeah, no, definitely. If you're up for that, Unknown Girl, that would be really fun. Yeah. Yeah. Let's try that. I'm not sure, because they probably would need some editing, because I think I probably ramble enough. But there might be some that have a good kind of like, beginning, middle, and end to them, that would be great to do that with. Or just watch me make a weird face while I try something. Yeah, but because the background will work well as just its own video. I don't do any introduction, but I guess we could also, if we just isolate those out, I could do like a little voiceover introduction of what it is. Like, have the image of the snack and a quick introduction, and then do a standard outro kind of thing. That would be fun. The rambling, the complaining. You got to leave the faces in there. Yeah, but if you'd be up for that, that'd be fun. That'd be really fun to do, because the channel could definitely use something else to be discovered. To make it discoverable, because then when people, if they subscribe to watch the snack videos, then they would get notifications of the live stream as well, and then have to wait through all of this part before they see me snack anything in. Yeah, I was trying to do that with the weekly show that we do on Fridays. I was trying to do that, to cut out a piece of the discussion and upload that separately as like a best of the week kind of thing. But I noticed I was going for more of the kind of inflammatory, just the uglier topics, and that I don't think that's gonna help that channel at all. I don't want to be drugged down into the kind of the drama and the infighting in a hobby, to try to get views. That's not fun at all. Oh, but I've got another interview coming up. This will be my biggest challenge as for an interview. So I'll be in Japan interviewing the UK and Greece on Saturday this week. So it's a German company. So they work for a German company that's doing a Kickstarter. So we're going to have to balance. I hope the video and audio works okay, because it could be a real mess. And the software that I'm using only works on Chrome, so I hope they can at least download, or at least have Chrome ready to go, because otherwise it won't stream well. Oh, good. Nice. So that should be fun. Yeah, it's a fun. It's a game that's going to be on Kickstarter at the end of the. That's been really fun to talk to people. It's been a long time. It's been years since I interviewed anybody for the channel. We were doing that for a while. And now it's happening again. And because I think the world is kind of starting to wake back up again, so people actually want to do business, so they're aggressive to. And these guys are actually sending us stuff. That was the nice thing. Like, most American companies won't send us anything physical, so we can unbox it or show it off on camera. They'd only do digital stuff. So these guys were like, yeah, of course, we're sending out this demo set to everybody on YouTube that's interested, in all the local game stores and everything. So I was like, yeah, that sounds good. And let's talk. Let's do it. An interview. I gotta get better at it, though. It takes like a while. Maybe I should, just accept that I have to talk for 10 minutes and just kind of warm up, and then start the interview, because, the beginning I'm always so shaky and so like, The questions are really uncomfortable, and I'm really, not warmed up yet. But as soon as I can get them to laugh or something, then it usually, smooths out. Oof. There we go. All right. So, I was thinking, I don't think Big Spoon is necessarily very funny. There's still white in here. I really screwed up. The fill. Oh yeah, the signature is here. I really screwed up filling that layer. Weird. Okay, so I'll put it here, and then on this layer, can I do it? Boom. All right. Oh yeah, maybe got it got too late. But yeah, I did a. I can show it off. There's still time. I can show it off next week, or if Matt sends me a photo, I will show that off. But I did a anniversary drawing for Matt and his wife. That was the artwork that Matt mentioned earlier. So if he prints it, I'll show that off. That'll look really cool on a piece of canvas. Yeah, that's a good idea. The do the short snack thing. Oh, thanks, Unknown Girl. I appreciate the vote of confidence. Yeah, I just got to get back into doing it. And it's nice because, you know, you have to schedule interviews, so you can't procrastinate. Like, you have to get them done. And especially if there's a deadline, like if it's about something that's coming out at a certain time, you have to get the interview done and all the production done. You can't be like, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. So that helps a lot to kind of motivate you. People are kind of depending on that. Although that's another thing. I think there's a lot of people that do like board game channels and stuff. Once they start to get those relationships with the companies and they start getting all of these things that they have to, you know, unbox or they have to paint or something, you know, very, very quickly, that becomes an insane grind. Because there are people that are counting on you that will cut you off if you stop showing off their or promoting their products. And so, yeah, you can really get locked in. I'm sure like a lot of those like cosmetics, like, you know, makeup tutorial people and stuff get stuck in that too, where they're just like endlessly making these passionless videos because they've got companies, you know, asking them to promote. But yeah, but that's been fun. Something I was trying to get to happen when the hobby channel was in its original incarnation for the longest time, and it just wouldn't. All right, so a straw. Yeah, maybe. I think in the other. Let me check if I did I think I did a big bowl in the other, or maybe not. I thought I did. Ooh, I did nothing in there. These are all milk cartons. I thought I drew a big. Oh, there's Abel. So how to yeah, that would work. So a spoon, the better of the spoons, a spoon and a straw. Is this too much? It seems like I'm doing very similar things. It's not really much of a soup bowl, but a bendy straw in a bowl of soup. And maybe do this to save the work. Yes, sure. This will be a real minimal one, but is there anything else I can that would go along with a bowl of soup? Yeah, I think all of that works. Yeah, I don't want to do a larger. Well, a ladle would be soup related, but yeah, maybe that's okay. I haven't done a really minimal one in a while. I tend to get, because I'm drawing so much, I tend to clutter things up more than I need to. Go back to the minimalist days of like I literally draw like a single tiny thing in the middle of the page. That was when I was doing them in bulk though. So when I would do like, you know, 10 or 12 at a time, some of them wouldn't have as much of the love in them as others. There we go. Yeah, that's the thing though. I should be really thankful that I've been able to, with the syndicator, with Go Comics, lighten my schedule up with this cartoon so that it doesn't like consume so much of my work life. and be able to just kind of casually enjoy creating this cartoon, because it could be so easy. It so easily could have slid into, well, no, you just have to get this done. You just have to keep on this schedule. And especially, after running out of ideas, that would be the absolute that would be the absolute. I don't know. This is pretty goofy looking. Uh, yeah, it was a lot. Well, that was back in the day though, when I could literally just open my notebook and I had like pages of ideas that I was always writing down before I like started typing things into my phone. Yeah, that was back when your phone, like writing into your phone, was a pain in the ass, because there wasn't any good. The only input was that 12 key, kind of Japanese thing. We push the number one once for A, twice for B, three times for C. You guys have got to see how fast. Like, there's some people that haven't wanted to switch to smartphones because of that, or when they switch to smartphones, they can get that same key configuration, but because you don't have the physical feedback as much, you can't. You're not quite as fast. But the how fast people can enter the Japanese with that 12 key. It's like the number pad, the 9 key number pad plus like 3 below it. How fast they can input on that. It's crazy. They can, a lot of Japanese can write faster that way than they can like with the 2 hands on a QWERTY keyboard with all 10 fingers. They can still write faster with their thumbs on a, I forget what that's called. Like it's like a 12 key numeric pad kind of thing. But I can't do that at all. That makes English insanely slow. I remember my first phone here, I could barely text message people. It'd just be like, so I ended up getting one of those, full keyboard, like thumb keyboard slide phones, because English is just brutal. And that number pad. Yeah. One letter. Yeah, you have to push it 3 times to get one letter. Yeah, and you just have to, you kind of get that maybe locked in your head. So, C, okay, 1, 2, 3. D, 1, 2. You have to whatever. You just know how many, A is 1 once, D is 2 once, whatever. You have that locked in your head, so you just it's like faster than you can think of it. Kind of like, fingering on an instrument, or that stuff that just gets beyond your conscious. Yeah, like a BlackBerry style. Yeah, right. Or no, BlackBerry. That's right. BlackBerry had the full keyboard. Yeah, they had a couple of. It was very rare here. Yeah, I think the first phone I got that had a full keyboard on it, it was the Blogger model. I think it was when blogs first started, like very early days. And they're like, this phone is the perfect. I might even have it around here somewhere. I should show that off. Perfect for, bloggers and people that are very online. I needed it to be able to write messages with any sort of length. But it was the Blogger phone. All right, there we go. Minimal. We'll do the minimal straw in the soup. And travel mug. Oh, I don't know. This isn't gonna go well. All right, so let's put some color. Oh yeah. My first, I think my first phone was a Nokia, like the very, very first one. And then after that, I always bought the little Sony Siemens. Was it Ericsson? No, Sony Ericsson. That's right. Sony Ericsson was the combo in the U.S. that I would always look for, because they made the really tiny candy bar phones. Those are good. Those were good. Those little, a little bit lighter. Those are easier to deal with size-wise. Those stuck around too in Japan a lot longer than I thought. The kind of candy bar style, even once smartphones were around, they still had those here. Yeah, that's too dingy looking. Yeah, the Unbreakable. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I can't believe that's such a racket now that they have with screen protectors, and I don't know how many people I see. The first time I ever saw that, because I had barely ever had a smartphone, the first time I saw that, I thought it was like a joke screen protector. You know, like you can put like, you know, stickers of bullet holes or whatever on your car. Like you could put like, you know, things that make your phone look like it's destroyed on the screen as a haha joke. And so I thought that's what it was when I saw a girl using a smartphone and the whole screen was just spiderweb shattered. You know, it was all cracked and broken. I thought, oh, haha, she put some screen protector that has, but no, it was just a broken phone that she had to use until, you know, she can afford to get it fixed or whatever. But that's such a racket now. They make unbreakable, you know, the Gorilla Glass or whatever is on iPhones that breaks if you don't if you don't have it in a case, it shatters. So yeah, not oh, maybe not green, because I think I'll do a green picture on the cup. Yeah, maybe red is better. But that is, yeah, such a racket. The case market. Yeah, as I remember thinking that the first time, it's like, I just want to use the phone like this because it's so thin, so light, but you drop it and you're screwed. So you have to put it in a case, like you have to, you know, put a rubber protector around it and keep the screen from like directly impacting, because it'll just shatter under its own weight. That's so frustrating that that's just become a thing that we all accept as part of the deal. Yeah, that's a thing that you don't want to be successful at. Spend your whole life chasing the specs on the new iPhone so you can make so your company can make a case for it. All right. Oh, maybe I'll do a little written nonsense on the side here too. They always have their little we're so we're so wonderful writing. Okay. Oh, I should almost make this one. Oh, you can't see my cursor, can you? Wow, it's just the window. Is that true? Yeah. Oh, that sucks. I thought for sure I could point at stuff. Oh, no, I can. There you go. Yeah, you just can't see when it's really tiny. It's hard to see. All right. Oh, sorry. No, I've had that too. I dropped my phone. And always at the worst times, like I had some show I had to do, so I had to rely on my phone very much. And I was not using a case because I'm like, I like how easier it is to hold without the case. And I was walking and just slipped out of my hand and just pancaked, like belly flopped directly screen first on a cement stair, and just, from the lower corner just shattered all the way out. And it was so bad that there were pieces of glass, so I couldn't slide my thumb around on the screen without picking up pieces of glass in my finger. So it was very, very brutal. Yeah, because it had broken past a certain point. So there was actually a weird pitted surface. It had broken so badly, and I had to rely on it extra that weekend. Yeah, that's the frustrating thing. I miss the days. I think they've stopped doing that. But when the iPhone was young in Japan, you could just take it directly to an Apple store, and they do that Apple thing of just oh yeah, it's broken. Here's another one. Now they've made deals with the companies, the carriers here, or maybe they just renegotiated how things work, where you can't do that anymore. You have to go through the repair at your cell phone carrier, and they send it away for weeks, and they give you this loaner phone, this garbage 5-year-old loaner phone and stuff. It's really horrible. It's the worst kind of car repair style situation, where you're driving a bizarre subcompact car while you're waiting for your pickup truck to get repaired. It was really weird. how they handle it, and there's all kinds of weird language in the contract that you sign. So if they're hoping that you lose or break the loaner phone, because the penalties for doing that are very, very steep. So there's just it's brutal how out of control the smartphone carriers are. And they did. Oh, I have infinitely complained about this, but yeah, there was a change in legislation here that then caused them to be even shadier in their practices. But yeah, it's endless. Oh yeah. Oh, that's a good. Yeah, that's a fair phone. Oh yeah. I think I've done that. Ben, I think it was like more back in the days of like iPod touches and stuff. Yeah, I think I put an iPod in my pocket and bent it. Yeah, so like it was noticeably ruined. Yeah, I did that with a credit card, or like not a credit card, an ATM card. I didn't want to carry a wallet, and so I would just stick my ATM card in my pocket, and somehow like bent it enough that it wouldn't go into the ATM anymore. I remember doing that as a student. That felt really stupid, because I had to get a new card for just a slight bend on a card because it wouldn't go into the slot anymore. Yeah, that's so funny. But we've just accepted. I hate that we just have to accept that they very easily could make an unbreakable screen, no problem. You'd have to pay $50 more, and they've determined that the market wants to support that. So we're just screwed. Oops. Yeah. Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm sure it would be shocking. And it's becoming more and more of a thing, I bet. I bet there is like this level of stuff, like a level of technology and a level of pharmaceuticals. Well, we already know there's a level of pharmaceuticals that we don't have access to. But yeah, that's ridiculous. It's going to become more and more of a thing where you're going to enter this, this level of society where it's like, oh, okay, now you have access to this now because you're one of us. Where the peasants just suffer with their HMOs and their phone repair plans. Oh yeah. Yeah, that was like specifically, and they caught them. I don't think there was any punishment at all, but they caught both Apple and Android, both the iOS and Android phones. They throttled the the processor speed through software, so that the battery didn't noticeably just like suddenly only last for an hour. So they would slow down like how much power the battery or the phone drew from the battery from the processor by making the software start to throttle it. And they found out that they were both doing that, and we had no control over that. There was no way to override it. I'm sure on some level there may have been voiding your warranty, but the that's my crutch. I have realized that is my crutch phrase, that I'm always but-dumming, but when I think and talk at the same time, it goes poorly. Oh no, I'm coloring on the wrong layer as usual. that they caught them doing that. I don't think there was any punishment. They were just like, yeah, we had to do that, or else people would know how bad our batteries are, how poor the battery technology is. All right, and a spoon. But what are you gonna do? Not use a phone? Yeah, that's so funny. The like GPS for driving now is completely a necessity, and even the taxi drivers and stuff now, they don't need to learn. They don't need to know routes and know neighborhoods. They just plug in things to the GPS, and they don't really know where they're going. So they don't learn anything. Like, they don't learn after having driven something once. They don't really learn it. So yeah, it's very bizarre. I guess that lowers the barrier to entry. Like, anyone can drive a cab now in any country, because you can just ask people to input the input the address. It is helpful with things like traffic, when you can, like, avoid traffic in certain situations. But it has, yeah, it's made me really bad. And it's especially, like, navigating in Japan is insanely hard, because no streets have names, but nobody uses them. So it's a really weird aesthetic for driving. It's just like the written language here. It's just a rote memorization is the only way to do anything. So you just have to remember routes, and it becomes very frustrating. Because everything looks the same, so there's very few landmarks, and you approach an intersection, and there's almost never street signs. I'm crossing this. There's nothing there. You just have to know, oh yeah, I must be crossing this because it's exactly 4 kilometers from the bridge that is named this. And yeah, it's nutty. And the Romans never occupied Japan, so there are no grids. There are no Roman grids anywhere. Nothing is a grid, so you can't I didn't do eyes on the last one either. You can't get anything to you can't tell whether you're going east, west, or north, south easily at all. So old goat paths and whatever become the basis for roads. And also because it's so mountainous here, roads are just nutty the way that they design them. It's very opposite of anything you've ever been used to before. Alright. So they're all involved in whatever this is. I guess their lids can be too. Yeah, I gotta be careful. Too much ornament on the... too much detail. There we go. No idea. Oh. Uh-oh, my t-shirt. Yeah, it's the Monopoly guy, right? Right? See, Monopoly guy, but as seen through the They Live glasses. I don't know if you can see. It's just one of those silly mashups. So yeah, Monopoly guy, but he's one of the aliens from They Live. So if you look at the board game with through the They Live glasses, you can see that it just says consume. Buy real estate. All right. Yeah, I thought that was a funny mashup. All right. Okay, so I guess we will do some comments. Let's see how that went. So the oh yeah, it just went out. Today's cartoon just went out, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So comments. No. Okay, the microphone is working, but the comments are not. Yeah, it's weird. Every time if the window doesn't stay open, it must be renamed, and I can't find it. Yeah, I can't find it. Weird. There it is. Yeah, I'm just trying to capture. Oh, window. That's very odd. Okay. Yeah, I guess it does have to have the exact same name, so it will never have the same name. There we go. That's kind of centered. Okay, so March 15th. So it just went out, so people just saw it, but I guess we'll check back on it next week. The unnecessary stemware to not ease the guilt of finishing an entire box of donuts. It's almost finished. Alright. Yeah. We'll see what happens. Oh, 3 comments. So March 10th it was difficult to see him unable or unwilling to hold pencils. Okay. He was trying to see the computer screen. Who needs pencils? His eyes being at the bottom. He just wanted to see better. Nice. Oh, and run one reply. As I read this, I'm actually sharpening my pencil. Nice. A pencil sharpener. And, wow, 22. Bread would be the thing that got them to the next level. So, lunch meats. I don't know. They could end up in a basket. Oh, in the basket unchopped. T-Grams. I suppose that's olive loaf on the left, but my mom in the 50s always called it pickle loaf. Oh, nice. Bread, cheese, and Miracle Whip, the sandwich triumvirate. Ain't that the truth? Bread is the only thing that will get any of us to the next level. Given the rate prices are rising, the next level will be survival. Or weight loss, at least. Nice. Wow, still a lot of people that have been reading this cartoon for like 10 years are still dropping in to see how it's going. Wow. Yeah, I'll have to do like some kind of indication of like 20 years on... Yeah, I should double check. At least on here, I don't think I'd go back. I think, 2004 is as far as I go back. So nobody's going to believe me. Nobody believe me. 2005, actually. Oh, no, there it goes. The very first cartoon was... Bum, bum, bum. Ooh. Yeah, 2002. So I'm not lying. See, it's right there in the copyright. There's the first cartoon that was ever uploaded to Go Comics. Wow. Plastic Pail and Shovel felt it was best to be professional and never speak of that crazy night again. Okay. Yeah, this is where the non sequitur kind of nonsense of it was just, even more left to your imagination. Yeah, I think it's really the nice thing about Go Comics. It's all fans of cartoons, so they all, enjoy the aesthetic and enjoy kind of riffing on, what's done in the medium, I guess. But the people that stick in there are really great. Oh, here's my I think we've already done maintaining verticality varied from loaf to loaf. This condition lasts for 4 hours. Yeah, I've already been through this. Pressure on the heel. I don't know of a red packaging if this condition lasts. All right, let's do a couple of randoms. Yeah, it's fun. I mean, at the very beginning, it was people that were very gatekeepy because Go Comics is Universal, which is I forget the company's owner name, something McNeil. They had a lot of the original old newspaper cartoons, so the aesthetic was more from that. So when they started to add web cartoons and newer like digitally done cartoons, people were very resistant. And so a lot of the negative comments very early on were just because they were like, this is not, Marmaduke or whatever. It's not Garfield, so fuck this. So yeah, it was very, random is bringing us back to things that we have already seen. Waiting to be held somehow ruined the romance. I don't think those exist anymore either, those little pop-in inserts for. Oh, the Christmas card one. The overdue gas bill wondered how long he could masquerade as a holiday greeting before being found out or paid. Yeah, he's got, there's the pink bar of final notice, the pink red writing of final notice. All right. But yeah, it's a nice. The people that have read this cartoon for a long time are really, really sweet and supportive, and I think just enjoy the sensibility. Otherwise, they would just delete it from their reading list. He was told many measuring cups had converted to metric and were living relatively happy, normal lives, based on my experience of. It's kind of dorky, but a funny dorky. Wow, ha ha ha! That is so funny. See, I need more. I need more people like love Harry Potter books. I don't get it. Yeah, there we go. There's the whole range. Wow. So, dorky, I don't get it. Very good, and ha ha ha. Yeah, that's funny. That's the entire range of reactions that I usually get. And usually the I don't get it means I hate you for writing this. Did I already? Yeah, I already liked it. 13 years ago. I wonder if they get notified. That'd be so funny if they get notified of someone liking their 13-year-old comment. Yeah. Yeah, right. I think that's very, people are very protective of things. And they just don't want things to evolve or anything, any new thinking to occur. Oh, here's a digital recent one. It seemed to him that if coffee filters ever got into the muffin game, things would get ugly. Very large muffins. Oh my god, I'm going to try one. Don't tell Mary. Did Mary Worth make muffins? Oh, that's funny. Maybe just a cartoon reference. Oh, a male joke. In this instance, love did not bloom from the sorting error. Oh, yeah, I think I did a. This might be a sequel to one that they were brought together because they were missorted. Is that a word? Incorrectly. Ooh, a smoking joke from 2005. At this point, there was nothing to discuss. Okay. Yeah, early stuff was really, really open as far as the interpreting the joke. Uh-oh. In their attempt for an open and honest relationship, they had to settle for open, not honest. Ha! 12 years later. Yeah, right. That's right. I need the interstitial and showing the person going to their Go Comics. Oh, you have a like. That must. If it does work, if they do have that whole system set up, where if somebody likes your comment, I should. I think I have commented a few times. Yeah, I don't think you get notifications because I don't think they have that set up. They should though. All right, one more. Boom. Uh-oh. The shipping materials were the real victims in the impersonal world of online shopping. I guess a box is shipping materials, right? I will comply. No, the Earth is. Just how long does it take polystyrene to break down? Yeah, what does it break down into? Oh, never mind. Well, let's send it to Africa, India, etc. Right, right, right. Yeah, that's funny. That has changed a lot too. The materials they use to pack stuff in, because online shopping is just so much more insane. I can't imagine like if they measured from early Amazon to now, like how many packages they're actually sending out. I guess we know that just from how many warehouses. I lied. I'll get a Christmas one in there. The fruitcake held on to the hope that he was still food and not a holiday decoration. Hard, unlovable fruitcake. All right. Yeah, fruitcake jokes. That is already hacky and dated. Oh man. Yeah, it would be very funny if people do get notified. I'll have to leave comments and see, like maybe on recent stuff, and see if anybody interacts with them, and then if I get notified if they do. All right, back to the drawing board. All right. Yeah, it's funny. I'm really happy though with how much they've improved, how much Go Comics has improved. Oh, it probably says the name of the company at the bottom here. No, it doesn't. Oh wow! But it gives me copyright. That's nice. Look at that. I never know. Oh, you. I'm looking at a window you're not looking at, but it gives me copyright to my cartoon at the bottom of their website. That's really cool. Wow. Yeah, the company is Andrews McMeel. That's right, Andrews McMeel Universal. So they have Doonesbury, Dear Abby, Miss Manners, wow, Calvin and Hobbes, The Far Side, Garfield, Peanuts too, yeah. Dilbert, For Better and Worse, Kathy and Ziggy, and then the more recent stuff is Cul-de-sac, Pearls Before Swine, Get Fuzzy, Big Nate. Yeah, this was kind of the recent stuff, like Cul-de-sac, Pearls Before Swine, Get Fuzzy, and Bizarro. I think I don't. Maybe they're not on Go Comics, but there's a guy that keeps winning the Cartoonist of the Year prize, and I think or wait, his name is Pizarro. Maybe his cartoon is named something different. I thought it was Bizarro, but it's a more odd, you know, odd modern, kind of comedy, like absurdist kind of comedy or jokes. But yeah, this was the last generation. All of those more recent ones. Those are the last ones that made it into newspapers before newspapers are like, yeah, why are we printing cartoons in newspapers? So I shall never see the pages, the newsprint pages, because that's where the big money is. Because that's that can be daily or daily income, daily royalties. All right. So what are we writing here? But yeah, very funny. Yeah, they've been really good to me. I can't complain about my lack of success. They've done everything. They've done everything to make that as as close to as possible. As close to they have helped as much as possible. All right. So travel thing. Maybe I should put a pattern or something. Yeah, that might be. Maybe. Let me try something. Maybe a separate layer. Let me just put some pattern on the red mug just to give it a little bit more. Make it a little more distinct. Yeah, so that it looks like it's decorative for a reason. Yeah, safety yellow is always a nice addition. Let's see, should I fade that in? Yeah, maybe. So it looks like it's printed or something. All right, let's try this again. So something about traveling. Actually, I should put some coffee around too, shouldn't I? Because then it could be more of a joke about how safely they held coffee. Let's see. Oops. Come on. There we go. Very laggy. That's too green for coffee, isn't it? Yeah, that's way too yellow. At least on this monitor, it looks very uncoffee-like. There we go. And maybe even also I'll fade all of this out. But I like the weird coffee stain on the side of styrofoam cups too. And we'll even give a little bit to the unnamed Seattle, formerly Seattle companies logo. All right. There we go. Yeah, a little coffee staining. I don't know if there would be casting shadows, but give it a little bit more variation. There we go. All right, so able to safely contain an amount of coffee. Oh, purple and blue. Oh, yeah. That's right. Then yeah, that 90s cup pattern. Oh yeah. Yeah, maybe I can find that. Yeah, it's supposed to be just styrofoam, but that might actually be cuter. Wow, yeah, you can just like, boom. Oh yeah, it's called Jazz. There's a Wikipedia page for it. Yeah, that Jazz is a design featured on disposable cups, introduced in '92. It is considered iconic of 90s culture. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, so it started out on... The designer is Gina Ekis. Sweetheart Cup Company. Okay, so let's see. I'll have to turn some of this off. Come on. Turn some of this off and put this here. Whoa. Here comes some jazz. I might have to distort it too. Look at that. That is... That's someone's life. That's someone's life's work right there. Oh my god. Okay, wait. And select. Oops. No. Select and jazz. Oh man. That's crazy. Okay, and I should this up a little bit. Kind of do the whole... Oh, is this different? This is not what I remember. Oh, wow. Ooh. I think they've updated this tool. It's much more interesting than I remember. And then just a little... Yeah, a little bit. I don't know. Does that read? I think it's a different kind of cup. But yeah, let's see how it reads on the... Yeah, that works. A little bit of jazz. That's so funny. Yeah, right. Of course, it would be. Yeah, you can, with your synthwave. Yeah, it's so funny. That is such a horrible... Just the colors and everything are just the worst. Wow. Yeah, I wonder if I'm going to get... Well, I've distorted it enough that it's not going to read, but I wonder if it's... appropriation. Yeah, that would make a great. There is a department store here though. Oh, which one is it? There's a department store that has a similar. It's almost like jazz, except it has cranes, Japanese cranes. Which, okay, so Takashimaya department store. No. There's a department store that has. Okay, theirs is a pink floral wreath. I'm never gonna. It's not. I can't. I'm not gonna be able to remember. Uh. Let's see. No, it's not gonna come up. But they have a very similar, like, weird design. It has that same look of, kind of that brushy, weird look of jazz, except it's yellow and purple, and then there's cranes. If I find one of those, maybe they discontinued it too. Uh, yeah, it's pretty iconic because you recognize, but I can't think of the name of the store. But it's one of the more. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Department store bag. What if the word order will help? Yeah, it's not coming up. Yeah, but there's a very similar bag that probably was designed in the 90s and maybe just like totally knocked off that design. So that's called Jazz. Yikes. Well, thank you, Yum. That's a good idea. Even though I think it's a little bit different cup. Maybe we'll hear that in the comments. So three or four design ideas were submitted. Sweetheart chose the jazz design because that was their favorite colors. So aquamarine and purple were their favorite colors. Oof, that is living in the 90s, isn't it? So the original drawing was done vellum on vellum using charcoal. That's funny. So this is actually a, scan or a, whatever, probably like a lithograph or like a photographic image of vellum charcoal on vellum. That's interesting. Wow. So there is an original somewhere. That's creepy. There's an original piece of art that became that. Wow. Had charcoal on hand at my desk, and this is what came out. Well, I'm glad you worked so hard. They get a bonus, or did not receive a bonus payment, and does not receive royalties. The original designer did not get a bonus and did not receive royalties. See, that's what happens. Wow. Oh, that's really funny. So it probably got lost or just destroyed, but there was at some time an original piece of vellum with that on it. That's crazy. That became the look. Hey, hello, Will. How's it going? I'm getting the ghosts. Nice. Oh yeah, I just noticed that. Finally, this combined chat is uh, posting or is showing the emojis and stuff correctly. Interesting. Oops. Yeah, I wasn't doing that before. All right, there we go. All right, I gotta write these. Let's see. Oh wow, it's already 5:30. Okay, let me just double check my phone just in case. Nope. All right. So yeah, the idea would be safely or transporting transporting coffee for long distances. Mm, nice. Yeah, that's really funny about the whole jazz thing. So the original. So I wonder if she. Oh, she got married. See if the original artwork exists. Nothing. Not great matches. Yeah, weird. Yeah, there's nothing online about the original. Weird. Just a little contest to design the thing they were going to throw on every cup. Yeah, that must have become a such this weird default thing that every factory that was like producing uh, the cups just had that to throw on. That design just got thrown on everything. I think I made it a little too thick, but people will get it. Oh yeah, 2 hours. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Australia and Japan are pretty close. That's pretty easy. All right, so yeah, so keeping coffee hot and from spilling. uh, so they admired his ability to keep coffee hot and not going everywhere, leaking, travel. The travel mug, travel cup. Yeah, because it's not even a mug anymore. What is that even called? A travel. Yeah, just travel mug. Yeah, when it's not even a mug, they call it a travel mug. Hmm. Oh, tumblers. A tumbler. What's the difference? Yeah, I could put a handle on it. Amazon reviews are now Google results. That's great. Um, so, safely containing hot coffee. Oh, maybe warm and safe. Yeah, maybe kind of a joke about. Yeah. Uh, unlike the rest of the world, unlike. Unlike his peers, the travel mug prided himself. This is not good. On keeping warm and safe. Okay, so warm and safe is the part that I like. And those really aren't peers, are they? I guess a thermos. There was less importance, less emphasis. Unlike everyone else. Oh, yeah, yeah. Unlike everyone else is better than peers. Or about being disposable. Oh yeah, yeah. I think that's a good. Yeah, that. Oh, I wish the. I'm sure there was so much better. The competition for the jazz design. Probably there were so many better winners. Oh boy. There she is, the woman responsible. Teal, that's right, not backwards. Teal and purple. She should have that, like, drawing in her, framed in her house, especially because she didn't get any money for it. Yeah, the other contestants would have been fun to see. I guess they wouldn't have kept track or released that. That was pre-digital anything. Oh, all right. Oh yeah, safe and warm. Thank you. No, I did it backwards. Yeah, I think just because I was thinking of it backwards. Yeah, safe and warm is how it goes. I like to just say things wrong to make people upset. He was alone in his desire. Alone in his desire to keep. I like that phrase. He was alone in his desire to keep coffee safe and warm. I don't know. It should be like more everywhere. To make that make more sense. Sandusky Register. Wait a minute. All the things that are crediting her. Sorry, I keep getting drawn into the lost designer has finally been found. Ooh, really? The carpet at the Portland airport has that same design? Oh, that's horrible. Oof. Yeah, and since she did that work for hire, they could use that design infinitely and never have to pay her because she never had an agreement to be paid. Be paid royalties. So they just owned every mark, that she made. They owned. He was alone in his desire to keep coffee safe and warm. Yeah, I think that's efficient and safe and warm. The travel monk prided himself in keeping safe and warm. That's it. That works. I like his pride. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. So soup spoon. So this recent the recent straw obsession left the soup spoon. I just had the word in my head. Not pointless. Purposeless. Purposeless. That's terrible. Purposeless. Yeah, that's hard to say, let alone read. Purposeless. You want your spoons purposeless and your tuna porpoiseless. All right. The recent use of a soup straw. Yeah, I know. I'm getting too punchy and caffeinated. All right. Yeah, I'm using the last bit of my blood sugar to try to write something here. The last wits about me. All right. A recent straw obsession. The use of soup straws. Oh, I should actually make the straw a thing if it's going to be like a competing thing, a competing part of this. There we go. Yeah. So reading too much about 90s paper cup design. So straw obsession, or yeah, purposeless is without a purpose. So something noodle related. So something about the straw failed in, where the spoon succeeded in. So just missing a reliable spoon. Yeah, I don't know if this is too. Yeah, that's the sad thing. I'm just over caffeinated. The yeah, sad thing is, like, if you have to drink soup from a straw, it's a very bad situation. So it's not funny at all. So I have to definitely avoid anything that would yeah, refer or insinuate being in a hospital drinking soup from a straw. So maybe just the regret. Full of regret. That using a straw, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah, oh, there we go. Not having the right spoon was the final straw. Nice. Nice. So not having the right spoon was the final straw. Like the final straw is good. And the bowl return once the fat wore out. Yeah, what's a reason you would even. So without. Oh, wait. Okay, so without noodles, the straw. Maybe a better way to say without noodles. The straw. Or the spoon, sorry. The spoon had to concede to the efficiency of the straw. Nah, it's too much. Efficiency of the straw. To the straw's efficiency. To the straw's efficiency. No. Without noodles. Or for. Yeah, thinking like it being a trend or something, I think is made the spoon soupless spoon snoo straw soup straw soup straw trend yeah, it would eventually, like, so noodles would be the end of it, right? yeah, conceded the efficiency, so that the new soup straw trend eventually be defeated by noodles. Okay, so it start with noodles. So noodles would be the death of this new soup straw trend. Saying it all backwards. Okay. I don't know. Yeah, the efficiency of the straw. Sure. Spaghetti with a straw. Yeah, that might. Yeah, you would have to have some pretty incredible accuracy and amazing suction too. All right. So yeah, the efficiency of the straw. So noodles would be the death of this new soup straw trend because, of course, you couldn't put noodles in a straw. I think that works. So leading with the noodles, and there's no noodles depicted, but you know, eventually they're going to come into play. There will always be. It's always about the noodles. All right. So noodles would be the death of this soup straw trend. Soup straw. All right. And he was alone in his desire to keep coffee safe and warm. I think we got it. Yikes. All right. These were definitely caffeine-inspired jokes. Yeah, I like the last straw, though. And that would be, yeah. Actually saying this would be the last straw. I don't know. Okay. I'll go with these. Because if I start rewriting anything, I think I'm going to lose the plot. Okay. Sorry, let me just drop these into the ever increasing directory of cartoons. Yeah, it's weird. I wonder what the actual limit, because Windows, even with this like new Windows 11 or whatever, they still don't like having too many files in a single directory. It really slows, like the file system really slows down. Okay. And then let's just go back. Oh, where is that? Revert. Oh. There's a revert, isn't there? I guess so. I can just close this. Close it and reopen it. Boom. Okay. So we never compete with the patented noodle slurping straw. Yeah, if there was just some way to broaden one end of a straw and nice. Yeah. It's very strange. Yeah, it takes a while. You think that it made a file, like it made some sort of directory, you know, that it cached, or maybe they're trying to save disk space and not doing that. But yeah, it's really, really slow. So that directory I have all of the JPEGs in there is super laggy when it comes to adding a new one. It takes a while. All right, so here we go. Get ready for the adults only caramel corn. So there's a lot of things. Oh, maybe I should wait. Let me upload these first, and then we can. I'm ruining this segment already. All right. Yeah, I'll start that again once I switch over. So let me just upload these crazy cartoons. Okay. Oof. Oh yeah, that one is really tiny. The file size with that the soup straw is very tiny. Okay, so let's switch over and start all over again. A triple X caramel corn, yes. So welcome. Welcome to your first look at adults only caramel corn. So I guess it would be in other markets it would probably be promoted as triple X. Triple X for adults only 18 plus caramel corn. So many flavors of things, often chocolate or candy snacks in Japan, will be designated as adults. So big people, right? You can see the kanji right there for big people. So adults version. And caramel corn, I don't know if you can see this, guys. It's probably keying out, but the little face, no, you can't see. The little face on the caramel corn bag is pretty iconic. It's a red bag with a little smiley face with a little tongue sticking out. Basically, it's I think it's rice. I think it's rice because it was corn that would change the flavor a lot. It's either rice or corn puffs. So very much like puffy Cheetos with caramel corn kind of powder on them. So caramel flavored Cheetos, basically, not cheese flavored. So that's a very standard snack here, and they have, I think there's peanuts. Yeah, this has almonds in it, but I think the default one, the regular caramel corn has peanuts in it, kind of like Cracker Jacks. So it's caramel flavored, like little Cheeto type deals, and peanuts. And this is the adult version. So what does the adult version have? The adult version has almonds, but as you can see, the adult version has aromatic rum. So my least favorite thing in Japan, and I think in the world, it's all over the world, is liqueur or alcohol like filled chocolates or things like that. That's the worst. Like you buy, I remember like having that shock as a kid, and maybe it's just childhood trauma of like biting into it's a piece of chocolate at like a grandparent or great aunt's house or something, biting into a piece of chocolate and it's filled with brandy or some kind of alcohol, and as a kid it's horrifying because it's like the dessert has turned on you and become very rotten and horrible. So alcohol and sweets and chocolate and things have always been a very disgusting combination, and so this may be my downfall. So let's try this though. So this is going to be rum flavored caramel corn for adults only. So I will very slowly, if I can get it open, very slowly. Here we go. Here's the reveal. Very slowly open the bag to reveal. Okay, this is going to be the deciding thing. Oh, it's actually not bad. Wow. I expected to get that big blast of like fake, because it's always when they use alcohol for candy and stuff. It's a very cheap, very low grade. Wow, it's actually not so bad. It smells like caramel mostly, but then there's a more aromatic like. Wow. Okay, this may be okay. We may be safe. So let me see if there's any specific. So they don't. Yeah. So it's still the same caramel. Oh, so it's caramel with rum flavor. Yeah. So they just added a rum flavor to the caramel. So I won't be incredibly intoxicated by these. So as you can see, these are a little bit more, a little smaller, I guess, for the. I don't know, adult smell. So the larger versions, the caramel corn versions of these are pretty large. They're kind of the size of a Cheeto, of a puffy Cheeto. These are smaller and a little crunchier. And it's not very alcoholic at all. Well, it's not bad. It's very rich. It's like the caramel has a oh, there we go. There's a little bit of kind of alcohol aftertaste, but it's not horrible. It's not, and maybe it'll build up though the more you have. But it's really small. That's very strange. The normal size are much bigger than this, but yeah, not as revolting as I expected. Because seeing that little oh yeah, the aftertaste does kind of build up though. alcohol, that fake alcohol, but the it makes the caramel more interesting. The caramel taste is more complicated and interesting at the beginning, so it's not just that sweet burnt sugar flavor. There's something else like going on. You know, kind of like Jack Daniel's sauce on your ribs or whatever. There's like a little bit. It's a little bit more complicated. I'm trying to find some almonds in here. They all sank to the bottom. Oh, here we go. Oh, right into my coffee cup. So there's an almond. Yeah, they don't really have much flavor. They didn't flavor them out. It's just a regular almond. But so I think that was part of the adult flavor, is that instead of peanuts, it's an almond flavor. Yeah, it's caramel corn. So I guess maybe. Oh, I should check and see, because it would say either rice or corn. The puff itself is corn. No, it is corn. I guess that's why it's called caramel corn. So they're corn puffs, like the cereal, like corn puff cereal. So it is corn. I thought that would ruin the flavor of caramel. I thought it would be rice, but it is corn. So the reason it's called caramel corn is because it's corn puff instead of rice puff. But they're little. They're really tiny. These are much smaller. It's okay. It doesn't build up to a very unpleasant aftertaste, but you can kind of taste there's something there. After the sweetness, there's something a little strange going on. But yeah, this the regular caramel corn, and I think I've had that. Like if you go back a couple of years, I'm sure there's me eating Japanese caramel corn. It's a very standard snack, and it's really nice. It's really, because it's easier to eat than caramel covered popcorn because it's very light. You know, just like eating corn puffs. Yeah, these are okay. Not crazy. I mean, I think a kid could eat these and just be like, ugh, they're a little strange, but, you know, not be upset by the flavor. But this is a very adults only. This snack itself. Yeah. So often here, both chocolate and various kinds of, oh yeah, sometimes you get a little bit a little bit of the rum flavor afterwards, I guess, depending on how much of the caramel flavor you get. But a lot of the sweets they designate for adults, so it means like more bittersweet, or like dark chocolate instead of milk chocolate kinds of things. So the flavor of things is like toned down or made more, you know, subtle and interesting for adults. So this is an odd thing for them to do that with, because this is a very standard kids snack, and even, you know, adults like this because it's very inoffensive. Probably my husband's name. Nice. Yum num and crunch and munch. Yeah, so not bad at all. I was really worried with the kind of fake. It's hit or miss though, because sometimes you do get, because, you know, it's just like a little powder on the corn puff. So sometimes you do get a little bit more, and there is an aftertaste that is kind of like a fake, probably a real alcohol aftertaste, but how they've flavored the powder. But maybe that's why they made them smaller too, because if they were bigger, you would get a bigger dose of that. So maybe that's the reason. But surprisingly not bad. But they've got this sexy red and black. So the original package is bright red with a little yellow and blue eyes and nose on the front, and much larger. Yeah, I should actually, that would have been good for a comparison. I should have brought the kids version too, although that's a little you don't want to mix the two. I don't want to send any messages that it's okay to mix. Yes, thank you, Yum. Yum has finally cracked the code for getting this channel monetized. Her 400 alts will make sure that there's enough people subscribed. Interesting. So, yeah. So not bad. I mean, I don't know. See, I say that, and then sometimes I'll get like that kick of like fakey alcohol flavor. It's okay. Maybe brandy or something else would have been better than rum. You know, some kind of something a little more. I don't know. Very odd. But this is, yeah, this is a very. It's definitely you know, like an older person. So this is proving that I have the palate of a 12-year-old. Is that this tastes strange? But yeah, the adult version of caramel corn with rum flavoring. Very odd. So I'm not sure. It doesn't say limited. It just says it's crunchy and aromatic. Corn snack. Yeah, so it is corn. So we've solved that mystery. Corn, caramel corn is corn, but it's not popcorn. Very strange. So yeah, it's if you know the original, this is a strange like variation of it. Interesting, strange variation of it. But otherwise, I don't know. I don't know what you would eat this with. Like I don't know if it's because it doesn't. It's too sweet to be like a beer snack or anything, and you wouldn't want to drink alcohol with this. So I guess it's just a less sweet, more more something caramel flavor. Interesting. Okay, well that was the adult caramel corn. Yeah, I like rum. Okay, I'm not a huge fan. I like rum drinks. Like I don't drink rum directly. I think that rum was one of the few alcohols, like a few types of alcohol I got really sick on when I was young. That and tequila. Although tequila, I've made my I've made my amends with. I'm back on the tequila train. All right. Well, that was caramel corn. All right. Wow. Yeah. Rum is okay. I've got a. I think last Christmas I got a big bottle of Captain Morgan's that I gotta figure out something to mix it with. But yeah, I don't drink rum straight. Usually, my mother was a big rum and coke drinker. I think that was her only drink before she stopped drinking at all. I think rum and cokes and Marlboro Light 100s were basically my childhood. But yeah, I definitely like vodka and gin drinks better. Caramel corn. Yeah, so it is just it's a corn puff, and the kids one is much bigger. It's a corn puff with peanuts in it, and those might be like glazed or more candied peanuts. I can't remember. More like Cracker Jack, but yeah, not popcorn at all. It's funny, but that does let little tiny kids, because popcorn has a lot of like hard, weird stuff that like kids that don't have all their teeth or whatever could cut themselves on. But the caramel corn, the Japanese version of it, you can just kind of let it turn to corn mush in your mouth. So it's pretty safe for little kids to eat too. I guess the peanuts aren't. Yeah, it's true. If somebody likes if somebody's a rum fan, that might be better. Although it's a cheap rum flavor. It's not a nice flavor. Like the aftertaste is just like a weird alcohol flavor, because they don't use anything of quality to like create a powder for a snack. Uh, nice. Oh yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's what we need is a Hennessy. Yeah, if they would have branded something, maybe it would have been, or like a whiskey flavor. I don't mind whiskey. I like whiskey flavors a lot. Scotch and whiskey flavors are much better than rum for me. But it was okay. I thought it was going to be really revolting, so I was trying to, you know, break up my winning streak, because it would have been easy. I'm sure the steak flavored potato chips that I was planning on would have been a little bit of an easy win. They would just be a very savory, smoky flavored potato chip. Nice. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, and the chocolate. So I think the chocolate I had was like a brandy. It was like a brandy filled, but like a cheap, you know, maybe even a simulated brandy in the chocolate that I had as a little kid. And here they have rum filled, brandy filled, and there's three types of these. This like whole uh, series, this whole brand of alcohol filled chocolates, which are very like kind of grandmother chocolates. and I forget what the third one is, but there's three different types, and they put like the fruit, like the whatever what you would make that alcohol out of. They put that on the package, but they're really nasty. It's like a purple, a green, and a blue or a red packaging, and they're different alcohol inside. Maybe like a whiskey one. I'm not sure, but yeah, the combination of chocolate and alcohol is very. Yeah, I mean, I can barely. I like, some. I like Irish coffee or like Kahlua or Bailey's or something in coffee, but that's about it. Like the more dessert, like I'm trying to think of like dessert type coffee alcohol combinations. There's some bad ones, or some like a hot chocolate. Yeah, yeah. For some reason, chocolate is easily corrupted by the alcohol, the flavor of alcohol. Oh, rum balls. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. Rum balls. Yeah, what was last week? Oh, last week was the spicy. Oh, an update. An update for last week's. Thank you for reminding me, Unknown Girl. So last week's was the spicy ramen. It was the Baby Star done with like a spicy Szechuan style flavoring. And they were in these little kind of tablets. They looked like you would actually drop them into like a little doll house sized ramen bowl. And I put them in water, put them in hot water. I think K5 dared me to rehydrate them. So K5 said, put them in hot water. Oh, that was what his donation was for. So if you have hot water, put them in. And immediately it didn't do much. But after the stream was over, about like an hour and a half or so later, they totally rehydrated back into little bits of ramen noodle. Like they were, the texture and everything of ramen noodle was totally back. So I left the dish, and they absorbed all of the liquid and turned back into ramen noodles. So the flavor, the powder isn't enough to flavor, the water into soup, because then you couldn't eat it. That would be so intense, like so concentrated. But it's pretty close. It's funny how easily that the coating on those snacks flavored the hot water immediately, kind of soup-like. But yeah, overall you can't you can't make the whole thing work backwards. But yeah, it was surprising. So Baby Star, that proves that Baby Star is dehydrated ramen noodles. So they do take ramen noodles and dehydrate them, because they turn right back into ramen noodles themselves. And the spiciness was really good. That was a good combination too. So the streak hasn't been ruined yet. Yeah, that was really good, because the spiciness was just enough. And it was the red, that kind of Chinese Szechuan red pepper taste. But yeah, their Baby Star is ramen noodles. Yeah, right. Yeah, especially cheap rum. I think because that was back in the day when we had like illegal, or not illegal, fake IDs and stuff. We were trying to buy alcohol, and we were still just undergrad, so we're still under 21. The only thing that we could get people to buy us was like or only thing we could afford was the liquor store generic, the bottle that just says rum or just says gin on it. So the only thing we could get is the really cheap garbage alcohol. And so getting sick on that store brand rum, I think, was the worst mistake of my life. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Bacardi. Yeah, the Bacardi, that clear rum was always around the house making rum and cokes when I was a kid. That's funny. Yeah, yeah. It would. The size of those little snacks too, like, work perfectly. If you have a doll house and you need to simulate ramen in the dishes of your dolls, that would be yeah, perfect. But that was funny. I was always curious if that, because so that probably proves that that was the inspiration for Baby Star, is in the process of creating the dry ramen like packages, they had all of that breakage, all of that kind of debris happen in the manufacturing, and they're collecting it somewhere and saying, should we just throw this away, or can we make this into a snack? And so dehydrating it and flavoring it, makes it into just a little snack you can eat. Yeah, that's very funny. But that must have been the genesis of that snack, because it is just ramen noodles. So a factory must have tried to be more efficient with how they reused things. That's too funny. Wow. Yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, that was a great idea, Unknown Girl, about cutting out the snack segments. If there's good ones, to cut those out and re-upload those. I think that would be a good idea, to try to upload things onto the channel. And I should do some more like IRL stuff. Maybe for spring there'll be more going on. So I should do some more things IRL and upload those. If I can't get a good signal, if I can't get a good stream from my phone or anything, just record some stuff and then put it online. That would be fun. But yeah. Whoa, okay, 6:20. I guess I should I should wrap things up. It was a good stream though. Thank you everyone. Yeah, so I'll try to, I guess the next couple of streams will probably be later like this, so I may miss some of the US, like I'll miss some of North America, but catch more Australia, and I'll catch all the night owls too. So we'll be hanging out with Lil Will. Lil Will the whole time. All right. Oh, cool. Yeah, send them. Yeah, thanks so much. Yeah, that would be a fun thing to try, and that'll definitely help the channel be a little bit more findable. Because yeah, the only recommendation, because my other alts, I'm subscribed to Abuse Cartoons, and the only recommendation I ever get is the one video that was uploaded. So that's interesting. They prioritize streams, to notify people with, rather than uploaded videos. But live streams have no like duration or legs, I guess. Like they don't last, so they don't, because none of these live streams have ever been recommended to me in my other channels, even if I watch them, even if I like preview them in other accounts. Yeah, that's weird. But excellent. So yeah, it was really fun, you guys. I appreciate everything. Yeah, you really motivate me very much to do things, and always have something fun to share with you guys, like adults only caramel corn. Yeah, that's a very standard and now completely ruined snack. But yeah, and sometime I'll bring some of the really standard stuff. Oh yeah, also there's that. Yeah, I'll talk about that later. But that Boxu company is based in Japan, so I was thinking about getting in touch with them, because they do free international shipping for their boxes. The boxes are a little bit expensive, but if I have them send me one, and then you guys can order those as well for like a specific month, we can all have the same snacks. It'll be chosen by them, but it'll all be the same snacks. So that might be a fun thing to do, as preview, or see if I can get it like an affiliate link or something from them, and promote what they're doing, and then we can all share some Japanese snacks together. That might be fun. All right. All right. Well, good night, everybody, or good early morning, and take care. And we'll be doing this again next week. So abusecartoons.com is the website for the cartoon, and as you saw, gocomics.com/domesticabuse is the archive if you want to read more. Patreon.com/abusecartoons. Thank you, John, for being a subscriber or a patron, and also on social media, Abuse Cartoons. So this is on Twitch and YouTube and Facebook every week, and I will see you again next time. So take care, everyone, and we'll do this again. Goodbye.